Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Justin's Joint in all of its magnificent glory. Alright, guys, so here's the deal. I'm not really smoking a pipe right now because, well, it's late. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I've been smoking a pipe all day. Since I've been working from home, I've been smoking a lot of bowls. A lot of bowls. Pretty much throughout the course of the day. As a matter of fact, I was smoking earlier some Captain Black Gold. A lot of you guys are probably like, boo, but to be honest, I kind of like this stuff. It's cheap, and I've had it in my cabinet for a while, so, I just decided to go for it. And, I smoked a bowl, and went pretty good, so I smoked another one, and that went pretty good, and that's just how it's been for me lately, but it's the last thing I did smoke. But we're not talking about tobacco tonight. What I have tonight is a little bit of an update to my watch collection. I've kind of become somewhat of a prolific watch collector, shall you say. It's just one of those things where there's so many good watches on the market that are really not that much money, and I just want to have all of them, right? It's not like I'm out there buying Rolexes or Breitlings or Omegas or expensive stuff. It's just, just affordable stuff around $200 or so. $200 or less, maybe 300 on occasion, I don't know. But the latest two have been right around $100, and those are the two that I want to showcase right now. Now, I had been looking at this first one for a while. It had been in my watch list on Amazon for, probably close to a year, and I just wasn't sure if it was something that was me. Oh, first of all, wristwatch check. We got to get this out of the way, I guess, since I'm not smoking a pipe. I can't do a pipe check. Do a shirt check. I'm wearing a t-shirt with some muscle cars on the front. Watch check. I am wearing my Seiko chronograph. See if I can twist my arm around here and get you a picture of that. This is the brown one. I think it's like a SNN 411 or something like that. I can't remember the exact reference number, but it's just this awesome chronograph. It's a quartz chronograph. Sweet watch. It's one of my favorites. It is not my favorite, but it sees regular wear on the wrist. So I had this particular watch that I'm going to talk about tonight on my wish list on Amazon for a long time, and I've been working a lot of overtime, and I decided, I'm going to buy another watch. And so I had several things. I feel like I really want to get a G-Shock. So that was an option, and there was a couple of other options. But my daughter was sitting down here with me at the time, and I was kind of showing her some of the watches. And she told me that this is the one that I should get. And so this is the one I got. I took her advice. I got it. It was very sound advice, because it really has become one of my favorites. And what it is, excuse me while I reach over here, open up the watch box. It is this right here. What this is an SNXL 72. This is a gold. It's not gold. It's like, it's gold colored. But it is a little Seiko 5. It's got the 7S26 movement. I think that, 7S26C movement in it. It's just a nice, classy looking watch. There you can kind of sort of see the internals of it. Just a very nice, classy looking watch. Let me just go ahead and strap this guy on my wrist just so you can kind of get an idea of what this bad boy looks like. The thing that I like about it is that it's light, it looks nice, it looks real nice, and it's light, so you don't really notice that it's there too terribly much. But when you do look down, boy, it's just a sight to behold. I mean, that right there just looks so mwah, mwah. So this is the one that I got. Now what this is, it's just a very simple watch. You've got a day and date complication right there. See if I can get this in here without too much glare. At the 3 o'clock position, the little Seiko 5 logo right there, and then I don't know if you can catch it, but there's like just some, a grid pattern in the dial, which is, you know, if you catch it in the light just right, it just adds just a little bit more of a shine, a little bit more of a bling, I guess is what you'd say. But again, like I was saying, this is a very comfortable watch to wear. So if I get my calipers out here.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
We're going to just take some quick measurements here. So thickness wise, we are looking at about 12 millimeters, just shy of 12. And then the width of it here is going to be 37 millimeters. And then lug to lug, we're looking at about, see if I can get it in there straight, about 43 millimeters. It comes on this bracelet here, and this bracelet, it's not solid links, they're just kind of folded links, I guess is what you'd call them. And you know, nothing too terribly fancy, but again, it's really comfortable. And then another thing I really like about this bracelet is that it's fairly easy to size it without any special tools. You could take just a little precision flat screwdriver and you just kind of, let's see if I can get it, you just kind of work these little pins out, and then you just kind of push them out, and then the whole thing kind of comes apart, and then you just slap it back together to whatever size you need for your particular wrists. Like my wrists are fairly small, so you know, I had to basically take all of them out. I mean, I left a couple of them in, but you know. So this is, like I said, this is an automatic watch. Now this is a 7S26, so it's not like you can, this doesn't have hand winding or hacking, which to me is not really that big of a deal. I got so many watches at this point, I just randomly pick one up and wear it on a day-to-day basis. So it's not unusual for me to pick up a watch, just give it a couple shakes, and you know, reset the time and day. Like this, I haven't worn it in a couple days, so it still says that it's Tuesday the 28th, which today is not Tuesday the 28th. But it's a very nice, elegant, sleek looking watch. Now, the other thing that I like about this is it's got the typical Seiko lume. I'm not going to shut the lights off or anything, but I'm going to take this little UV flashlight here. Let me just give it a quick charge and see if you can see it. Usually this stuff is very bright. It's one thing about Seiko. I've really fallen in love with Seiko watches in general, and this is just another reason. I've got a bunch of watches with lume on the dial, and none of them shine as bright as the Seiko lume. Whatever they do to their lume, whatever they have going on there, it is something just a little bit extra. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but let's see if I can block some light a little bit here. Maybe. Yeah, there you can kind of sort of see it there. So you just got a little dot at each marker, and then the hour and minute hands also have some lume on them. Now, this watch here, as much as I liked it, I decided, you know, maybe I should have one in every color. So, you know, this is actually kind of, they sell these in all kinds of different colors. So what I decided to do after that, this thing was like $100, $110 or something like that, was to go ahead and get one in silver. So that's what we have right here. We've got one in silver. The case is basically the same. The strap is exactly the same. The only difference is on the dial. Now for this one, you'll notice that it just had the single, the single indicators for what hour it is. This one actually has something a little bit different. I don't know if you can see that. It has a double indicator at the 12 o'clock position, which helps in the dark actually, so you can see it a little bit better. And then the 6 and the 9 are a little bit fatter than the rest. But again, it's got that same Seiko lume on it. It's got the same date complications, the same straps. The sizing it is pretty much the same, just a different color. Let me get this charged up and see if you can get a look at what this loom looks like. See if I can shield some light from it. I don't know if you can quite see that or not, but it is quite bright and it lasts a long time. There's been several times where I've managed to bumble around and go to sleep with this on my wrist, and I wake up in the middle of the night and I look at it and I'm like, holy crap, how is the loom on this still shining? You know, I will have gone to bed at like midnight and I wake up at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning and it's still going. It just amazes me how that happens. But again, that's just one thing I love about these Seikos is their loom. So again, this is basically the same case. If we look at this, it's got the exact same dimensions, 37. See if I can get this, 43, and just shy of 12 millimeters thick. So again, same strap sizing method, same 7S26C movement. These are both 7S26Cs. So these are towards the end of the line for the 7S26 movement. Obviously, that movement has been discontinued by Seiko now. You know, you can still get these. They're plentiful. You know, I'm looking at these on Amazon right now, and they're still readily available for purchase. So these have the same movement as, let's just say, my SKX or the little pilot-inspired watch that I got for my son. So, you know, just a workhorse of a movement. And I really, really like these watches. So that's about the gist of the update to the watch collection here. Just these two new little Seiko 5s. There's one other thing that I want to show you guys, and this is just something that I like. Let me put that away. Stick this guy away. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave this gold one on my wrist. I'm gonna go ahead and put the chronograph away here. So, my SKX that I absolutely adore. This is probably another one of my favorite watches. When I first got this watch, it came with the rubber strap, which the rubber strap is okay. The more I wore it, the less I was a fan, though. I mean, I understand it's a dive watch, and I get why they do it. You know, it's got the little fluted squigglies up here so that it expands if you have to put it over your dive suit. I get that it's functional, but am I really ever gonna go, you know, diving where I still have that strap? I guess if I have to use it, I will. But what I found is that I really have fallen in love with bracelet watches ever since getting this one, the Victorinox Inox. You know, once I got this sized appropriately, I just absolutely love bracelets. So what I did is I went online and I got the Seiko Jubilee bracelet to put the SKX on. And I'm going to tell you right now, this watch went from being, you know, a good-looking, sort of comfortable watch to wear to being very, very comfortable to wear. I love this SKX on the Jubilee bracelet. It is absolutely... It takes it to a whole nother level as far as the way that it looks. You know, when I go to work wearing this, you know, I wear a nice button-up shirt, some khakis.
Khakis?
A belt and dress shoes and all that, you know, typical engineering office type stuff. When I would wear this watch on that rubber strap, it just looked out of place, completely out of place. And now with this thing on this Jubilee bracelet, it is absolutely amazing. It amazes me how comfortable these bracelets are, because I always remembered bracelet watches, and apparently I never had them sized appropriately, just snagging my arm hairs and pulling them, and I just hated them. So there's that one. So that's the update for the SKX. Now I guess there is one other update. Actually, I got a couple other updates. What am I talking about? So my Timex Weekender, when you get these, they typically come on that nylon strap, kind of like a NATO strap, and I feel like they really do this watch a huge disservice. This watch, it really is kind of a elegant looking, you know, just a simple watch, but it could be so much more than what it was with that nylon strap. So what I did is I found a nice leather strap. Just a nice cheap leather strap. I think I might have paid $15 for this sucker. And I put my Timex Weekender on this strap, and it is so much more comfortable, number one. It looks so much better. Again, when I would wear this particular watch to work with the attire that I typically wear to the office,
khakis.
it looked out of place. You know, it's not like I wear a suit and a tie every day, but you know, I wear a nice shirt and khakis, and it looked tacky on a NATO strap. So this one here, in addition to looking better, it's so much more comfortable, I think. I'm not a huge fan of NATO straps. Maybe I've just not had a good one, but I just don't think that they look, you know, to each his own. Some people absolutely love NATO straps. I'm not particularly a huge fan, so that's why I went ahead and swapped that out. Alright, I guess I got one more update, and then I'll have to dig through my watch box here and see. But let's have a look next at the Belova Marine Star 100 meter. Now this guy here, it came on a black silicone strap, which I had put I swapped that out pretty quick, because again, this is kind of a blingy watch, and I kind of feel like that black silicone strap, while it was definitely sturdy, I think it did this watch a disservice just in the way that it looked. So I went ahead and got this bracelet with the black center links to kind of match along with the black accent around the outside of the bezel there. And again, this watch with the bracelet sized appropriately, it really is quite comfortable, and I just think that it looks so much nicer. It just makes it look, you know, for when I go to work. Again, I know that I've said this many times in this video, but the watch that I wear has to at least somewhat match the rest of my attire.
Khakis.
And on a day-to-day basis, I find that the clothes that I wear tend to lean towards a little bit of a more dressy look. And the nice thing about a bracelet, though, is that, you know, I'm wearing a t-shirt with muscle cars on the front, and I'm wearing this watch, and it looks totally fine. So it's kind of what I like about bracelets on watches, is that it really does give you a much more versatile look as far as, you know, wearing the watch with lots of different types of clothes. So that is kind of a nice thing. And I know I said I was going to wear the gold Seiko, and now I've got the Belova on my wrist. Like a kid in a candy store. Alright, let me dig through the box here, and let's see if I got any other updates for you, and then I'll let you be. Alright, guys and gals, I think that's about it for the watch box update from Justin's Joint. I've got my eye on a couple of other watches that I will probably be purchasing in the somewhat near future. I can't say, you know, imminently in the future, but let me just kind of run down my list here, see what I got in my watch list. Alright, so here is my watch wish list. As you can see, there are quite a few different watches in here. Some of them are more expensive than others, as you can see. However, the Timex Tide, oh yeah, this one tells the tide, and it's got a compass in it. I'll probably wait on that one. This guy right here is a good looking chronograph. I don't see that it's really readily available right now. An Orient Bambino, it's another watch that I really feel like I kind of want to have. But again, I don't feel the itch right now. So the Timex Expedition Field Chronograph. Now I have a Timex Expedition that I absolutely love. This is a great watch. However, I do find myself wishing that I had a chronograph built into that, so that's why this one is in the list. This is the same watch that I bought for my son for his birthday last year, and I am so jealous that it's in my list to buy myself one because I like it. It's just a good looking watch. What can I say? I'm a sucker. So I got a couple of Citizen watches in here. This one is a dive watch. Looks like a dive watch with a chronograph. This one is just a dive watch. Both good looking watches, both Eco Drive, I believe, solar watches, and that's something that I don't have as a solar watch yet. So those ones, actually, probably the chronograph is very high on the list. Got these Casio diver style watches. They're not diver watches, but they're dive style watches. These are actually kind of cool. And, for $17.50, you can't really go wrong. Now, the G-Shock here, this is the one that I almost bought when I got the gold Seiko 5. And my daughter talked me out of it. And I did make the right decision getting the Seiko 5. However, I really do want to get this particular watch. It's a solar watch. It's got the 3 sensors: altitude, barometer, and compass. So it's a very tooly type of a watch to have. Citizen Navihawk. This is probably the most expensive one in my list, and this one is probably gonna have to wait. Then I got a couple of Belova dress watches here. The Hamilton Khaki. Whether I get it in the beige dial or the black dial, I'm leaning more towards the beige dial. But again, these are not super high on my list, and I've noticed that as I scroll through here, they tend to rotate in and out of availability. So, I guess that I'm just gonna have to keep my eye on. But another one of these Casio dive style watches. They come in a lot of different colors, so I basically have one of each color in here. And then the Seiko Flightmaster. That's another watch that has been in here a long time, and I feel like I should pick one up before they just disappear, because I don't know that they're making this particular model anymore, and I really want one. And they're only $150. So, it's $150 as far as a good watch goes. That's considering that you could buy a Vincero or a Daniel Wellington or a Movement watch for about the same price, and you get a cheap crap quartz movement, and in here you get a nice Seiko with all these extra complications and all this good stuff. It's a no-brainer which watch I'm gonna pick every single time. And then I got this Seiko Men's Recraft. This guy here has come in and out of stock a bunch of times since I put it in here. This is probably one of the first watches I put in this list after I got my first real watch, which was this one, the Orient Sun and Moon, which is probably hands down one of the best looking watches that I have at this point. This watch is just absolutely gorgeous. The sapphire crystal on the top, as you look at it across, you can just see the domed crystal. It just is an absolute beauty. I love it. And I've gone ahead and just left it on this strap that it came with. I've had it on a couple other straps, and I just didn't like the way that it looked as good. So, sometimes you just got to go with what works, and this works real well. So, anyhow, I will leave you guys to it. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it happens to be. In my case right now, it's nearly midnight. So, until next time right here in The Joint, we will see you guys later.